Tony Catani is the principal of Lenape High School in Medford, New Jersey. Proves that school leaders can make a big difference in the success of their teachers and students. Mr. Catani was just awarded the 2025-26 National Principal of the Year Award on July 9th at the annual conference of the National Association of Secondary School Principals in Seattle. Mr. Catani, thanks for coming on this morning and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. It's great to have you on. New Jersey proud here. When did you find out, by the way, that you were even in the running for this?
I found out just after spring break I was a finalist. The NSSP CEO president contacted me and asked me if I would like to celebrate some of our teachers for Teacher Appreciation Week. And he said he would call me into Zoom and contact me into Zoom. And I had all this prep work ready to celebrate some of our teachers here at Lenape. And it was an absolute trick. That's when they informed me that I was a finalist. He asked me how I would feel if I was a finalist and then told me I was a finalist. So he got me on the Zoom call, recording it, and that's how I found out. So that was
Oh,
in
that's
April. I found out I was a finalist.
tricky, tricky, tricky. And you host a podcast yourself. We're going to talk about that in a moment too, for everyone to check out. But you were among six finalists. You beat them all out. You beat out all the other high school principals in the country. So I guess the award went to you and a middle school principal, right? The two of you became the
Yes.
principals of the year. So what does it feel like? I mean, you're talking about over thousands of people, and you stand out as the guy. What does that feel like?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It didn't make sense to me until I went to the conference, and I was there with about 2,000 other principals, and some other people started making that comment. It is overwhelming, but the best part about it was, going to the conference and doing the podcast. I get to make connections with so many principals across the country that there's so many amazing, dynamic school leaders across the country that I'm learning from them. They're learning from me, and it's just a really nice community. So I'm just proud to be part of the community, to be honest with you.
And that's a brilliant concept because everybody has something positive that works for them, and it's great that you have this forum, if you will, to exchange ideas. And some things work and some things don't. You could share what is working
Yeah.
and kind of nix what isn't. By the way, how did you tell your family and your friends in the school, all the kids in school, that you won?
Yeah, so my wife was unavailable to attend. We have four daughters, and she had to stay home with the kids because we couldn't leave for 6 days and then go to Seattle. And they had me pretty tightly booked. So when I accepted the award that night, I FaceTimed my wife and daughters in. It was 9 o'clock at night in Seattle, and it was midnight here. So that was probably one of the best parts of the entire process, was informing my wife. They were watching on Instagram Live, but then the news got out, and that night I didn't sleep at all, to be truthful with you. I received so many text messages and phone calls from staff and students and parents and my district office. It's been amazing. I haven't really slept much since, but the community here in Mount Laurel, you were talking about the traffic here, it looks great. So if you want to get to Lenape, you have clear roads. But it's a great place, and they've been celebrating me, and I've been celebrating them.
That is, by the way, that is specifically why I selected that. We have about 300 traffic cameras. We specifically took that camera shot just for you. So, by the way, you just mentioned Seattle at 9 p.m. Just a digression. Seattle at 9 p.m. in July is bright sunshine, right?
Yes, I never knew that. It didn't
Yeah,
get
because
dark till
it's so
about
far north.
9:45.
Yep.
Yes, I
Yeah, you're
was
so
completely
far up.
thrown off with the sun. Yes, it was about 9:45. It started to get dark. So I was
Considering
FaceTiming my kids while I was there to show them that.
Considering it's such a normally a dreary, cloudy, it's a beautiful city, but it's normally such an
Yeah.
overcast, drizzly place. For some reason, July, it's I because I've been there a number of times in July. July is always sunny and the sun lasts, and it's not humid. It's usually pretty dry, and the sun lasts till almost 10 o'clock at night. I mean, bright sunshine till 10 o'clock. It's just bizarre, but very nice to see.
It didn't rain one time in 6 days that I was there. So I don't know if the sun was shining on me or the conference or what, but it didn't rain. It was beautiful. It was about 75 to 80 degrees.
That is a July phenomenon. If you go in
Yes.
April or if you go in September, it'll pour every day. It's just the way, well, not pour, but it'll be drizzly and dreary. That's Seattle. But it's July is the month to go if you're going to go visit, and you'll fall in love with it in July. And then if you move there, you'll say, "What did I do? It's so dreary." But let's get back to you with education. How many years have you been in education? Because you've been at Lenape for 18 years, right?
Yeah, so I've been in education for 27 years. I was a teacher for 5 years. I was an assistant principal for three over at Shawnee High School. I taught at Cherokee with inside our district, and then I was an assistant principal at Shawnee for 3 years, and then I'm starting my 19th year as principal of Lenape High School.
And it's not a little school. Describe that school, and does it feel like just a big family?
It does. It's 1,900 students, just roughly 1,900 students, about 200 staff members, 225 staff members. We call ourselves Lenape Family, and we talk about Lenape Pride. And I couldn't be prouder of the Lenape community right now, the Mount Laurel community. I'm just so happy to represent Lenape and New Jersey on this national stage. And we have amazing students and amazing staff that now I get an opportunity to share all the great things that they're doing, from our Leadership Academy to our World Voices Day, to our Camp Lenape, all the things that we're doing, our amazing teachers. I'm just ecstatic about that part of this process.
Well, that's because of good leadership. I know you don't take it upon yourself, but that is good leadership. And talk about your work with peer observations for teachers and how important that is, because it's not about you becoming principal and everybody else has to follow suit. You work actively with the teachers to help build leaders of the future, right?
Yeah, so for this part, I felt like every student needed our best teacher, and we needed all of our teachers to be more like our best. And our teachers are doing it every day. And each day we teach 795 lessons on average. So there's so many opportunities a day for another teacher to go in and see what some of our great teachers are doing. And every teacher has a wonderful skill set, whether it's they're dynamic lesson designers or classroom management. They're really great at their classroom management or promoting growth mindset, or they check for understanding really, really well. We could all learn from them. So our staff identify their strengths and some of the areas they can work on, and then they go about themselves and personalize their professional development to go into those classes for 25 minutes of the 57-minute period to see what that looks like and feels like and talk to that teacher about that so they can be a little bit better. But our students deserve the best. And so we try to make every teacher more like our best.
And so it's all about motivating new innovations and as you said, talking to other principals around the country and talking with the teachers in your very school and coming up with the best ideas. Sometimes though, do you think that some principals at some schools are so overwhelmed and bogged down with other issues, they just don't have time to do these kinds of things? I mean, because there's a lot to be said also for the population of your school. It seems that you got a lot of great kids at your school. Not every teacher's blessed. You have, I mean, every principal is blessed. There are probably a lot of school districts where there are issues with single parent households or broken households or poverty, et cetera. What role do you think that plays in the development of some of these young kids?
Well, I think it's quite significant. We have to treat every student as an individual and learn about their story. And it's the same thing with our staff as well. But I think it's an overwhelming profession here, and it's also isolating at times. And we can't let it stay isolated because we can't do this work by ourselves. There's so many great things that are happening from leaders to teachers that we're learning from one another. And the more our teachers talk and communicate about some of the students and some of their challenges and some of their successes, that's better for our school community. I think with being a leader as a principal or as a teacher, we're so busy defending the work that we do that we can't take pride in the work that we do. And we have to take pride in the work that we do and share some of our best practices so we can help our kids be successful.
Well, let's talk about the podcast now. You have a very popular podcast called Proud Principals Podcast with Tony Catani. What made you start that? When did you start it? And what does that mean for you?
Yeah, so it was really around the same premise as the peer observations. When I started the peer observations with our staff, I felt as though that I needed to model this, and if I were asking them to try to learn from our best teachers, that I needed to do the same thing. I don't have all the answers. I learned that a long time ago. I have my strengths and I have areas where I can improve. So I started to model that by going and visiting other schools and having other leaders visit me. And I was super impressed by some of the things that some of the teachers were doing around Burlington County and throughout the state of New Jersey. So I'm not the best writer, but I can talk a little bit. So I put it into a podcast. My wife Kate is the one that told me you should put this in a podcast, and it provides leaders across the country a library of resources that they can utilize to possibly put into their buildings. But it provides an opportunity for those leaders to celebrate the great things that they're doing, and they should be proud of the things they're doing. Like I said earlier about we're always so busy defending the things that we do, we can't take pride in the things that we do. So it provided an opportunity for these leaders to be share their passions and the things that they're really proud of, and it's done really well right now. I think this platform will help it and to get more leaders to share. But I'm really proud of the Proud Principals podcast right now.
I went to the website you have for it, and I took a look at the, or you know what? It might have been the iHeartRadio site, and I saw how beautifully laid out everything was. It's very kind of organized like a great principal would do it. Very, very orderly. So if somebody wants a specific topic, every topic is listed. You could find out details and click on, and it's a well, I mean, not just because you're here, it is a well-run podcast. You get right to the point, you don't mince words, and you don't waste time. And so as a listener, and I'm not, I don't have kids and I'm not into being a principal, but yet it was listenable. It was quite interesting. So you're doing a great
Thank you.
job with it. Good for you for doing it. What is
I
next for
appreciate that,
Tony
especially
Catani?
from
Yeah.
you.
Well, I appreciate that for
I
saying that.
appreciate that,
Thank you.
especially for you. That means a lot because I'm not a podcaster. I'm a educational leader principal. I'm just trying to find my way and share best practices. But I really appreciate that from you.
Well, absolutely. Look, the best educators are able to boil down complex information in a way that others can absorb it and understand it. And you do that
Good point.
extremely well. What is next for
Thank you.
Tony Catani?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to leading Lenape into this fall. I'm also looking forward to putting Lenape on the map across the country, and sharing some of the best things that we're doing. But to be truthful with you, I'm not really sure what's happening right now. This has been a whirlwind. So I get to sit down soon with my district and NASSP and NJPSA, the New Jersey Principal Association, who has been super supportive of me through this entire process. Karen Bingert there at NJPSA, and figure out what is the next step. But I'm really excited for this fall, meeting with my team in just a short bit of time to continue to plan for the year. But right now, day by day, to be honest with you, it's been a whirlwind. It's been fantastic, though.
Well, you make New Jersey proud, and we're so happy for you, excited for you. Thank you for coming on. The principal of Lenape High School in Medford, and the 2025-26 National Principal of the Year, Tony Catani. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Once again, congratulations. Come back again. Look, there it is. Nice. Congrats. And come back again. And I'm sure come the fall when all the kids are back, you're going to get lifted up on their shoulders because they must be so proud of you.
Thank you.
You bet. Have
Thank
a
you.
great day, Tony. Thank you, sir.